Number 1 here in the semifinals for the Leifeng Cup. Spotting the bottom right corner of the map, it's going to be the yellow Terran player. Speak now, but if you've watched the Falima Leagues, you know this is Byun.
And opposing him in the top left-hand corner, the one and only red Zerg, it is Leenock.
Now, before we even got into the game, Byun said, "Oh, me versus Leenock?" Question mark. I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I lose." Sad face. I was like, "No way, dude." I said this to him, like, "You're the Alima League champion. There's no way you lose. We have faith." And then we start talking a little bit, and I'm surprised, but apparently Byun actually follows Base Trade TV, so that's kind of cool.
That's super cool.
But I don't know, man. Like, Leenock is a good player. Leenock's a god, as it was said earlier in chat. I still stand by this, but I do think this is kind of like God versus God.
Battle of the gods.
Yeah.
What's happening?
This is some straight up like Roman Olympian bullshit, you know? Like, you know, honestly, like Byun is like one of the best Terran players, and even though he's not playing in Pro League and people question like, is he in shape, is he not? Every time we see him in the Alima League, this guy's a beast. He's won not just a bunch of Alima Leagues recently, but if you go over the last 4 or 5 Leifeng Cups, he's either in the finals or he wins the straight up finals. I mean, Byun is just, he's making a comeback. And it's funny because we're casting with Crank, right? And Crank obviously can actually speak Korean, had a chat with him for us on our behalf. And he basically inquired us, like, why don't you stream anymore? And Byun's answer, by the way, for those who didn't hear it at the time, was, it's too addicting. I waste too much time streaming. Too addicting? Yeah.
I guess I can attribute to that, being a full-time streamer myself.
Leenock goofs up, by the way. For those who don't know, on Terraform, you can't have Overlords sit anywhere safely outside of Terran base anymore. There is a sweet spot you can find up here, yeah, where the Marine gets to sit. The other Marine can then shoot the Overlord. A little bit of center step, you get the shots in, and should be able to catch that before he hits the high ground over here.
Yeah, that's so frustrating as a Zerg, losing your first Overlord like that. I mean, it means that it denies that additional scout in the natural.
Supply block, though, more than anything else.
Oh yeah, that definitely hurts as well. But just getting that really well-rounded scout in the main and natural, just to scout for the armory, more than anything else, to know that Hellbat all-in is coming.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Those are becoming a lot more popular lately. I think it was like once in a while you'd see an aggressive Terran player do it, but now it seems like a standard opening.
Yeah, definitely, because if the Zerg player messes up at all and deals with the push inefficiently, like at all, then the Terran player is just ahead from that point.
Swap for the Hellions at the very least. There is that fast armory, so yep.
I feel like that's a really good reaction from Byun, knowing that he killed that first Overlord, minimalized the scouting that can be done by Leenock, and kind of capitalizing on it. There's just an opportunity that Byun's really taking advantage of right now.
Actually, so I like this for a lot of different reasons. The number one being, though, that Byun, if he feels like, if he really does feel underconfident when it comes to fighting Leenock, ending the game before it gets too far out away, not a bad option. But Leenock does have a Baneling that's on the way, and he also, you know, he may have taken this with a grain of salt, saying like, "Oh, you didn't have my scout. Well, you're probably going to do the most popular thing you could do in this situation," and kind of calling his bluff in a regard that way.
Yeah, definitely go for that early Baneling nest. Will minimize his losses as long as he morphs the Banelings before the Hellbats walk into his natural. But I think the safest option would have been to make just like 4 roaches.
Well, the timing on this is always so close to those Banelings anyways. Roaches are definitely a big question mark about like whether they're better or not. I mean, they'll both hold, but yeah, it is a situation where the Hellbats are transforming, and those Lings have got to start becoming Banelings right away.
Oh man, if he had a Spine Crawler, if he was able to scout this, he could have morphed the Spine Crawler early enough to take like really efficient trades. But as it goes, one queen already falls. These Zerglings melt like butter to the Hellbat lane.
He scouts the Banelings though. He's not spreading. Marine's going to take some of those hits. Splits at the last second. Not a lot more damage potential here. Now this is actually really scary because now for Byun, he doesn't worry about the counterattack. And there's not a full wall off at the natural yet.
Leenock, man. Microed that perfectly. Like those weak Marines were targeted down as a priority.
But hang on. It's not over yet. Perhaps was contemplating going to Hellbats. I think if he just run into the little nook behind here, he could have gotten some good shots off.
Definitely. Byun actually just throwing down that 3rd command center as soon as possible, knowing that if he doesn't, at this point, he will be getting further behind. But Leenock, actually, he's 3rd base only just coming up now. So not saturating that 3rd base was actually like the saving grace for him, surviving that Hellbat Marine push.
Yeah. Bets are in at this point, by the way, guys. 14,000 fake dollar bills, aka Partoofs, bet on
All the
Byun.
dollars.
With 9,600 on Leenock. So, we'll see which way the bets go. I mean, to be honest, in my heart of hearts, that's how I would bet as well in that same ratio, but my head says Leenock.
But your heart says Byun.
Every single time. 10 times out of 10, man. It's like anytime Xenocider plays, dude, I'm all about Xenocider. 100%. It's like Xenocider versus Flash, Xenocider's got this.
Of course. Alright. The Baneling's not taking the most efficient trades, and that's because Byun split his Hellbats so well. But now that the Queens have reinforced here, he's gonna have to try and leave.
Actually, the amount of Banelings that just got wasted there was so inefficient. Look at the resources lost now, almost doubling after being on fairly even. I mean, that just a huge waste of gas on units that are Hellbats, which cost no gas at all.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I was talking about before in the early game. Like, Terran can do such efficient trades with that Hellbat push, and that's why they've become so common. The Hellbat push. If you deal with them with Ling Bane, you are pretty much hoping that your Terran opponent either messes up or you get an amazing surround on the Hellbats with your Zerglings to keep them in place while your Banelings do the efficient trades.
Well, the Overseer comes in to see what's going on. Let's get picked off by the Marines right away. Again, supply blocking Leenock for the second time this game with an Overlord kill.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for Leenock, considering he wants to fully saturate all his bases and be taking a fourth at this time.
This is really interesting. Byun's gone for vehicle armor. Now that's not good or bad. I mean, it's going to help Widowmine, it's going to help Medevacs, it's going to help Hellbats, obviously everything really. Whereas weapons wouldn't normally. Just a bit strange to see that command this early, because normally you can't invest in your armory until a bit later on.
Zergling run by before the bunker is done. Very nicely done here by Leenock. There's no Marines here as well, but now that the Hellions have arrived, he's got to try and get out with the lives of their lings.
It's like there's no Marines here, and that's true, but it's like they're just barely not there. I don't know, they're just gonna chill on the ramp, like, okay, you guys do what you want.
They're just chilling, just in case a Ling run by went to the natural, which you can't put past Leenock because he's, you know, it seems like the king of Lings, as we've seen from the last game.
He's a crazy motherfucker like that.
Alright, this double Medivac push coming down the bottom of the map here. Looking to do some damage either on an upcoming fourth base or the third base. But as you see, the fourth base is going to be taken in the middle expansion. I find it really interesting though, Byun is ahead in supply. Now that's a big deal. He's got pretty much equal economy, if not more, because he's got mules. But I mean, 145 supply Terran to 119 supply Zerg, that's nothing to be laughing about if you're the Zerg player.
Well, especially when it's the army supply that leads 78 over 57.
Yes.
It is going to be difficult to take an even trade or a good trade, but Byun has not just one, but two fantastically scary looking drops or attacks set up. Once again, Leenock is supply blocked, by the way. Third time's the charm. We'll start counting at this point. All the Baneling's going to get used here on the top half of the map, and that's kind of okay, because here's the real attack over here towards the third. Picks off the Queen immediately, goes to the drones. Oh my god, the Marines eradicate the drone line.
It's like the 4th of July with the amount of fireworks going off in this mineral line.
'Cause baby, you're a firework.
And I feel like Byun, he sold himself a little too short before this series, saying that he said he's going to lose. He's taking the series by storm quite convincingly so far.
Yeah, well, this first game is any indication of the way this is going. Leenock could be in some trouble, but you know, the thing is, Byun not only just did that damage, but he saved the attack in the north, so he goes back for round 2. He actually picked up with a lot of the Marines, kept those alive, pulled them back to the north, healed them up, and now this hatchery, not perhaps in too much danger, but he can lift them, drop on the other side of the mineral line, deny mining, goes to the main, doesn't matter, because Leenock is going to tap out. GG. Byun will take game number 1.
Beautifully played. Didn't lose really anything with those Medivac drops, just like picked up at the perfect time and dropped off again really abusively.
Okay, so I got a big question about that game for you. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind,
trying
to start again?
Oh man, I love that song.
Now I'm just gonna be doing that every freaking time I see workers die. I just need to have like that cute in the background permanently. Like I don't even give a fuck if it mutes the VODs.
I try to make that my alert sound for when someone subscribed, but it just was too long. I didn't want to cut anything off.
I know, because it's so good. Like, where do you stop, right? Speaking of good stuff, guys, we got Cactus Valley. Get ready to dance. We'll see you soon.